What is up, everybody? We are back yet again on the old S10, covered up because the world is not ready for this beauty. Little something special at this box, large box. We have a fragile. Have not opened this yet, so you guys get to see it with me for the first time. What they sent there's a converter box in here. I'm guessing it's to keep the structure of the box, the big box, because I was about to get kind of frustrated because I already have a converter. Yeah, I already have a converter, a fancy one, so I was gonna get mad if I just paid for a second one. Okay, all right, it's taped up. Might have to go get some utensils here. You just use the raw strength. There you have it. Bada bing, bada boom. We got us a FTI TH400 high performance 3-speed automatic T transmission. All right, so we got the transmission out the box and on this little scooter thing, and we can take a quick look at it before we start trying to put it in. FTI Performance TH400 here. It's their class 3 or stage 3, whatever you want to call it, but rated for 800 horsepower, and she's pretty. Stock Chevy case. It comes with the, I think they're -6 fittings in here. It adapts from whatever that is. I think it's 3/8 or something like that. Here's your dipstick hole guy. You got your input. Fancy, looks real nice. Nice and clean. Keep this on here until we go to install it. That looks good. Like I said, FTI competition converters and transmissions. Not sponsored by anyone, which is probably obvious since nobody watches my videos, but FTI has some better deals on some of their transmissions, so usually better deals mean lower quality product, but I mean, we'll give it a shot. And if FTI wants to sponsor me, that'd be sweet, but nobody does, so I'll give you the honest review. Here's your where the shifter attaches, so that shifter will bolt right in here, and it'll or the lever will slip on here, and then that goes back to the shifter in the car, so that'll do your park, reverse, neutral, 1 2 3. And this is a reverse manual valve body, so it's not an automatic to its full extent where as you're driving down the road it'll shift for you. It's not like that. It's a reverse manual valve body, so you have to shift all the gears yourself on the actual shifter. You don't have a clutch or anything, but every time you shift gears you just got to pull it back into that next selection. Without further ado, I suppose we will get our converter on there and lift this guy up in the air, try and slide her underneath. So here is our converter. It's a TCI. Here she is. I've already opened all this and gone through it, so that's why it's there's some other junk and stuff in here. So yeah, I can't really find it in here anywhere, but this is one of their medium versions. It's not the top of the line, but it's not the bottom. It was spec'd out for about what I want to have for this first engine setup. The instructions for the transmission say to add half a quart to this and then slide it on the transmission, but I think what I'll do is I'll definitely read this instructions for the converter too to see if they recommend anything else, but other than that we'll get it right on there. Alright, so we got the converter seated in there nicely. I'm confident that that's all the way clicked back into its position. And we got up there on the tires is a brace that's made by Motion Braceworks, and they do they make a bunch of parts for LS swaps, stuff like that. And so this is for mounting a Turbo 400 into a first gen S10, but I mounted the engine where I wanted it, which isn't quite on the factory mount location, so this probably won't bolt directly up, so it may have to do a little bit of modification of that. That's no big deal. At least it'll give us a good template, and it's already got the body, the frame mounts on it, so that'll save some time on me. So next up, gonna slide this under here, which I realized this scooter is really the best tool I have for the job. And even on this scooter only being a couple inches off the ground and its truck all the way jacked up, it will not clear, the transmission will not clear that body line. So what I think I'm gonna have to do, and it's just this very top point here, I think I'm gonna have to sneak it up here by the tire, push it in sideways through here, and then snake it back to the hole cut where the trans tunnel will be. And then from there we'll either lift the transmission up or drop the truck down on it, one of the two. Alright, so I've hoisted the transmission into place. That was no easy job, and I didn't have the camera running because it's kind of tight in there. So I just went ahead and lifted it up. I ended up using the jack and this ratchet strap, and it actually worked out pretty well. One of the benefits of having a roll cage is that you can use an axle strap and a ratchet strap and use that as your rear support for the transmission. This is of course assuming that you don't have a trans tunnel in. So with no trans tunnel, went ahead and did that. So next up is building the rear brace for it. And so of course for now I'm going to leave this ratchet strap on. It's exactly where it needs to be level wise. So I'll leave that on there, and that even with that ratchet strap, I've still got the bolts down on here exposed. And so I'll be able to build that mount with that strap on, and then once the mount is all in place and ready to go, then I can pull that strap off and it'll be supported under its own weight. We got our cross member here temporarily bolted in, and you can see the transmission is way higher than that mount. So what we're going to do is make a little arch that comes off the top of this, and that'll go to these bolts right here, and that's what'll be our rear mount. I'll have like a piece of flat, probably cut this off. This isn't for this transmission anyway. This is for, I'm not sure, Power Glide or something that's got some tiny little, very small track there, and the TH400 is like a maybe 4-inch gap. So, but we got this bolted in. I got some dash bar from an old roll cage that's not used, and that's what I'll use. So I'll just get my measurements off here, then grind off a clean spot, probably cut off this guy, and then make that little loop that'll go from the top, and then have a piece of flat steel welded to that. That will be have the holes drilled in it. So here's that piece of dash bar I was talking about. It's about the same diameter as that cross member I already have. Got the old chop saw, which you can tell hasn't been used in a while. So we'll get to cutting and measuring. Alright, so I was going along, making great progress, and my welder took a crap on me. So, ta-da! We got a new welder because I can't finish the S10 without one. So it was kind of a necessary upgrade. The old welder was kind of a piece of junk. So I got a Tweco Fabricator 211. It's a multi-process welder, which I like because usually I like, if I'm in a hurry, I like to tack with MIG and then weld out with TIG, or if I'm working around the farm or something, then flux core is nice because you don't have to worry about wind blowing out your gas. So, got me a new welder. Maybe I'll make a video about it if you guys care. If not, that's cool too. Anyway, back to building the rear brace. Alright, so we got our little brace all tacked up underneath the car in place. The only thing I wanted to be really careful of was that I didn't burn out the seal in the transmission tail shaft. I didn't want to get it too hot, so I just did a couple tacks. I would have liked to do more, so I'll probably get a few more tacks on the bench before I start welding it out, just so that it's just so it doesn't warp on me at all. Alright, so we got our sweet little bracket here constructed. I removed the old bracket plate that was right here, and went instead to just this single plate up here. I'm not sure what transmission this was for, but it doesn't fit whatever it was, probably a Power Glide or something like that. Either way, looking pretty good. All that's left is to throw her in there. In the future, I may make, if I feel like a little bit of vibration coming out of it, I may make little like gussets or something to make it a little more rigid, but for now it's pretty strong. I'm not really concerned about it at all. Alright, so I know it's pretty tight up in here, but we got her installed. You can see it bolts to this frame on this side, this frame rail on the other side, and sneaks up here to the bottom where it bolts right into the tail shaft. So that's going to be about it for this one. Thanks for watching. If you want to check out the build, the rest of the build, feel free to subscribe. Hopefully we'll finish up, get it running soon in the next few weeks here. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.